Welcome to the Service Academy Before You Press Send recorded workshop. The material covered in this session is an abbreviated version of the live discussions that took place in January. We appreciate your attendance in this recorded training session. Have you ever thought of how much an email can convey about you? Probably most of us can admit we form an opinion about someone after reading an email authored by them. We may pass judgment or come to certain conclusions about them after only reading a few lines. We're going to talk today about using email to power your personal brand. We'll look at simple ways to edit your own emails to ensure professionalism and that your message is properly conveyed. We'll also explore how our own perceptual sets may influence the true meaning of the messages we receive. Did you know that on average 144.8 billion emails are sent each day? 89 billion of those emails, more than 60%, are work-related. To dig a little deeper, the average employee in the United States spends roughly 11.2 hours a week on email. That means almost a third of the average American employee's day is spent on email interacting with customers, vendors, colleagues, and management. While email provides us with a very powerful tool that can do miracles for efficiency at work, if you do not afford it the proper consideration, it can damage your reputation. Before you begin drafting your email, first consider whether or not email is the preferred form of communication for your message. For example, if you are providing someone with a short reply or gauging if someone is available, consider using Jabber. There are also times in our professional lives where it is better to pick up the phone and have a one-on-one conversation as opposed to continuing a chain. These situations include any time you're relaying sensitive information, if your message contains upsetting news, or any time you are unable to come to a quick solution. Now that we know email is the best choice for our conversation, let's begin crafting our message. There's no need to put in recipient information just yet. Think about what you need to say, take a deep breath, and begin writing with kindness. Use a clear email subject line. Your reader needs to understand what your email is about at a quick glance. Consider adding deadline information as well. Subject line real estate is valuable, so the more compact your subject line, the better. Clearly explain the email's purpose. This should be consolidated into a paragraph or two. Make sure the information you're providing is easy to understand and summarized if possible. You also want to end each email with a call to action. Professional emails are all about accomplishing a joint task with another associate. Be clear about what you need them to do, even if you don't need them to do anything. Finally, include your Busey signature. Now that you've finished writing your email, before you press send, you'll want to conduct a series of edits to ensure you're clearly conveying your message with the utmost professionalism. The most important item in the editing process is to slow down. Simple errors happen all the time because we are too rushed. Slowing down, taking a few extra minutes to review your communication can spare you potential humiliation. The first review you'll want to conduct is an edit for brevity. Writing naked is a crucial part of email development. As you prepare to review your draft, first consider if there is an opportunity to be more concise. Author Seth Godin wrote a blog post that encourages individuals to look at the content they are writing and ask themselves, is this too much? The answer, according to Godin, is almost always yes. His post went on to identify several ways we as writers can produce a concise email that delivers our intent without writing a novel. His tips include, never use a long word where a short one will do. If it is possible to cut a word out, cut it out. Never use the passive where you can use the active, write in the now. Never use a foreign phrase, a scientific word, or a jargon word if you can think of an everyday English equivalent. When in doubt, say it clearly. Once your email is short and sweet, it's time to edit for clarity. Effective emails are easy to understand. The best way to accomplish this is to craft a simple message that removes the potential for misinterpretation. We must be clear about why we're writing, what we need, and when it's due. Remember, your recipient isn't a mind reader. You should never assume that they can infer what you mean. Additionally, consider how you can help the reader to understand. Simple things like providing the file path or hyperlinking to the OTL page help avoid confusion. As we've discussed, email is a reflection of your personal brand. This third edit ensures your email is professional in nature. Did you know, to comply with Securities and Exchange Commission regulations, Busey stores all your emails from the past 7 years? This means every e-card, emoji, or inside joke you've ever sent may be subpoenaed by court of law. While you want to stay friendly, it's best to stay professional. That means including proper salutations and address your reader by their preferred name. You'll also want to avoid abbreviations, emoticons, and extra punctuation. Proofread silently, out loud, and if the email is important enough, have a colleague proofread it. Reading your email out loud helps to catch errors or misused words. Make sure to do a spelling, grammar, and punctuation check as well. Now that your email is clear, to the point, and free from errors, it's time to look at exactly what your words are communicating. One drawback to email is you don't have the advantage of adding tone or facial expression into the context of your email. How many of you have ever received an email that stirred up so much fear only to quickly be calmed when you spoke in person? Our natural response to how we interpret and react to the world around us is referred to as our perceptual set. The perceptual sets can also be influenced by an individual's expectations, motives, and interests. How exactly does this apply to crafting an email? When your recipient reads your email, they'll do so through their own filter or set, meaning that they'll infer a meaning all their own based on your word choice that will undoubtedly be colored by your previous interactions, their current feelings, and mood. While we can't edit out all potential emotional challenges, we can use a few techniques to bring positivity into our communications. Gauge your reader's emotions. Do you know Bill has been stressed out? Can you already hear Carol complain about this task? If so, email may not be the best bet. Emotions can have a dramatic impact on how we perceive the world around us. For example, if we are angry, we might be more likely to perceive hostility in others. Talking it out will help eliminate confusion and allow you to empathize. Gain their cooperation. Phrases like, "Does this time frame seem reasonable?" or "Would you be willing?" are especially helpful when you need to work across teams. Put yourself in their shoes. How would you feel if you received that email? How would you feel if your mom received it? Maybe there is a way to minimize anxiety or assure them. This practice allows you to better predict any troublesome phrases or a harsh tone. And finally, speak with kindness. Be sure to include appreciation or words of encouragement. Remove any biting words or demand words. Have you ever sent an email to the wrong person? This is why we add recipients last. Things to consider. Review your recipient list. Make sure you're only emailing those you're intending to email. Don't reply all unless everyone included in the email needs that update, and determine if you really need to CC. Using BCC is only advised for emails to large groups, to keep email addresses private, or to eliminate the reply all nightmare. Consider forwarding the communication on to others that may need an update, i.e. your manager, to avoid an accidental email reply. Thank you for downloading this recorded session of the Service Academy's Before You Press Send. The fourth installment of the Service Academy, Dealing with Difficult Customers, will be available in March of 2016. To register to attend this session live, please email the Customer Experience team at customerexperience@busey.com. Thank you.